We're gonna creep it real this episode.
I see what you're doing there. Welcome to the Relationship Goals podcast. BJ is the name, and talking with my girlfriend is the game.
Oh, we got all the things today, huh?
You know, just changing it up a little bit.
And I'm Melly.
Don't be jelly.
Guys, I have a Halloween Horror Nights hangover. I am exhausted.
And she drank like 20 drinks.
No, I did. I actually didn't drink at all. But I have a hangover because my body is wrecked. We did a day trip to Los Angeles to go to Universal Studios, where they host Halloween Horror Nights every year. In mine and Vanessa Hudgens' opinion, the best thing ever.
Yeah. We know it's September, but you know, me and Melly couldn't wait and had to get our Halloween fix started.
Yeah, this is my favorite time of the year, favorite thing to do. And obviously, September is a better time to go based on crowds and whatnot. But we've been to Halloween Horror Nights before.
It's been a while for me though, so.
But I went last year in 2022 with my sister, niece, and her friends for her birthday. There were a lot of lessons that I learned from last year that I wanted to carry with me in this year's trip. And those are, don't drive during LA traffic.
I don't think you should ever drive through LA traffic, no matter the circumstance, but yeah.
True, but avoid it as much as you can.
Avoid it like the plague.
Always do the express pass. It's worth the extra money, trust me. And don't drive home after at 3 a.m.
Yeah, especially if you live in Vegas. But you drove back to SD, yeah?
Yeah, I drove back to San Diego. I mean, I didn't even drive, but my sister drove, and
Thanks.
Man,
she's a trooper to have all of you guys there just snoring probably, and she's just like,
I was awake.
Oh, okay.
I was awake keeping her company, but we got home at like 6:30 a.m. after like dropping all the kids off, and I was exhausted. I was like, whoa. I went to sleep when my mom woke up. Let me tell you what happened last year. It was a hot mess express.
Let me say something first really quick. Melly is not good with, like, if you're driving, because she always talks crap to me about this, but if you make any sudden stops, she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. Oh, my head.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not good with stop and go. I get motion sickness from it. So obviously driving from San Diego to all the way up above Los Angeles, you get sick from all the stop and go. Like
the bumper to bumper traffic, right?
It was very bad traffic. It was a Friday afternoon, and driving from San Diego up there, I was sick. I was like, I need to take a nap. I can't. My head was pounding, and we got there pretty late. Like, you're supposed to get there around 6 or so, and we got there around almost 8. We had to drop off my niece and her friends because they have general admission. So, you know, we wanted them to utilize as much time as possible. And then my sister and I went to go park, and parking is such an issue too, because everyone's trying to get in, and it was just too much for me, where I started throwing up in the car inside where did we eat before? Jack in the Box, I think.
Oh, you were asking for it. You got Jack in the Box right before? Like,
yeah. And then I started throwing up in the Jack in the Box bag, but I threw up so much that it started leaking.
Ew.
And my sister had to pull over, and she went to a gas station, and the gas station didn't have like an inside. It was like a little kiosk. So I had to like clean myself in a different way. And I wasn't wearing the clothes I was going to go in with. Like,
Smart.
I had different bottoms. So I switched it out anyways, and yeah, we started off Halloween Horror Nights with a bang last year. We parked, went to the bathroom, I situated myself, and I was like, you know what? It could only go up from here. And yeah, we were able to still do everything because we had the express pass. And that's why I'm so grateful for the express pass, because it's literally like a walk-in at every house.
You vomiting and then going to finish the whole night reminds me of those times when we were back in college and you'd be like super drunk, or not like super drunk to like being blackout, but you would just be like, oh, I gotta throw up, and then you just make yourself throw up, and it'd be, I'm good. And then she was good. She legit was good. I was very impressed because she'd be like pre-gaming way too hard, and she's like, I gotta throw up, and then she'd go to the side, just throw up, and then be good to go. She'd wipe her. I would make sure she didn't have like vomit on her face. She'd probably redo her makeup and the stuff, or redo her lipstick or whatever in the bathroom, and she'd be good to go. I was like, dang, that's what's up. That's my girl.
Whatever. If you know me, you know that's like my number one thing I do when I'm drunk. I throw up. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care at all. But you know, everyone's about to tune out of this podcast because it's making them sick. But okay, enough of that. Let's just talk about this year's experience and how we went about it. And okay, and again with you know the things that I learned from last year about driving during LA traffic and driving home after, doing the express pass. Like I'm too old to be not having like these luxuries, right? So we wanted to do convenient things like get a hotel room, have the express pass again, drive before, you know, all the craziness of LA
Yeah.
traffic happens.
Yeah, we left from Vegas, not SD. We left in the morning and we got to Universal probably like around 3. So totally skipped all the traffic.
And we got to eat Roscoe's chicken and waffles. BJ was craving that. We went to Levain Bakery, which is originally from New York. So yeah, we got a hotel room. We got the Hilton that's right next to Universal, walking distance. And I used my Chase points to book that. So thank you everyone who lets me use my credit card when we eat out, because that's what I use my points for travel. And I booked that hotel last December too, before we even knew there was going to be Halloween Horror Nights. I just guessed the time frame. So, you know, I didn't get any like spikes of hotel rates.
It was a pretty nice room too. I mean, obviously we're just gonna use it to sleep really quick, but it was really nice. I love whenever Melly is able to get a hotel that's close to like a theme park like that. We went to Disneyland a couple months ago, and she did the same thing. And it's, I don't know, I like being able to walk to the park because I hate parking. I absolutely hate finding parking because it just annoys me, especially when it's super busy, like going to Disneyland or going to Universal. So thank God Melly thought this ahead, and we parked, and it was probably like what, like a block to get to Universal.
Not even a block.
Yeah, like I don't know.
It's
I'm not from the city, so I just like that's like a block, you know.
It's across the street.
Yeah.
But again, the luxuries that you just, you know, if you have the money to pay for it, pay for it.
And make your experiences a lot better whenever you can.
For the people who buy general admission, I just want to know, how do you stand in those lines that long?
Wait, how much more is the express pass?
General admission's around like $70, and then express is like $200.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Unless you really don't have the money, but getting the express pass, hindsight, it's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it, especially if you only go one night, because you could knock everything out and, you know, relax. You don't have to stand in the line for a long period of time. And this year and last year, we went in September, which the crowds are less in September. And this year we went on a Sunday night, so even less of a crowd. It's also cheaper. So yeah, that's what we did. And again, you guys know I like research and all that before I do a trip. So since it's still early, it's kind of like hard since there aren't that many like videos of this year's houses and whatnot.
For our listeners, comment below if you want Melly to do a video on how she plans everything, because it's really awesome to see. She's a master at this.
An important thing I do is I want to know like what houses are best from best to worst. And I also want to know like what the foods are that I need to get. So obviously I map everything out. I put everything in, everything I want to do, everything that I want to eat, and then all the houses, and put like a little note. I use emojis of what houses are good and what houses are bad. So that really helped a lot when referring to where to go. Yeah, we basically had a little of an itinerary, but you know, it was a little loosey-goosey based on like, you know, how we felt, we gauged it.
Freestyle a little bit more with this, you know. Usually, sometimes Melly's itineraries are very to the T, to the T. We're gonna be here 30 minutes, 20 minutes. You got 10 minutes to get here. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
But this one, where she's like, "Oh, we can do this. Oh, we can freestyle. Oh, okay."
Because again, when you have express, you have a little wiggle room to do things since you don't really wait in line. But anyways, we do have a hotline question.
Hotline question.
So let's see what they want to know.
Excuse me, how was your experience at the Halloween Horror Nights with you and your man? Just you guys.
Well, thank you, mysterious caller.
I don't know why she voices herself like that.
Who is that? I didn't know.
That was my niece who we went with last year.
It was cool. It's our first time doing it, just the two of us. So
Yeah, we used to go with our friends before, and back then we, did general admission. We didn't get to do everything all the time.
yeah, we have to wait in lines. I think the best thing when it's just me and Melly is just we're able to do whatever we want, and we can kind of go with our flow. Because maybe you might have someone if you in your group that wants to do a specific thing, so you're like, okay, you have to wait for them or things like that. So me and her just was able to do our own thing, have our own flow.
And I did invite people to go. I was like, if you want to come along. But whether or not people did want to go, I was like, I'm going, because I wouldn't go by myself completely. I'm not like that kind of person who
And
can
she
do
can
that.
drive in California.
I can drive in California. Okay. I just don't like to. But I definitely wanted to go this year, and I'm glad BJ got to go because again, he hasn't been in a long time and he wanted to go last year. So yeah, it was fun with him, and he was kind of annoying in the houses because he would, touch me when there's like scare
That
parts.
wasn't me.
Shut up.
I was like, they're allowed to touch you?
They're not allowed to touch you. That's why sometimes I'm like, oh my God, because I feel something, but it's BJ just like trying to scare me in the haunted house
Lies.
too.
As the youngins say, cap.
But it's also nice because, when I want to sit down, he will go get the food.
This is every time.
And that's why it's good that you're there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really fun with him. And yeah, there were a lot of couples that were there.
Maybe some thruples.
What?
Oh no. Hey, you never know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But I feel like haunted houses are always like a good, like, if you're starting to date thing, because the girl could be scared and then she would have to like hold you.
You're like, oh, I'm scared. And I'll protect you, babe. Oh my God, babe.
But me and BJ, we're both not scared of those things. What are you coughing about?
There's, strobe lights in my throat.
Okay, fine. Okay, my weakness are strobe lights. And I know that's in like every haunted house. So once I walk in a room and there's a strobe light, I panic. I start panicking because I can't walk forward because I have a hard time seeing, obviously, in strobe lights, and I get scared. So yes, I do get scared during strobe lights, but like all the other things that happen in a haunted house, I don't get scared because I think it's fun. I love it. You want me to go first? I'm there. I'm the front center, and I wait for them to go. Like there's like windows that you could just tell that people pop out of, and I stand there just waiting. And I still scream even when they come out because, it's like a surprise. It's like the Jack in the Box, like like it's gonna come out and you're just waiting for it and then it just pops out. So yeah, I still scream and I'm still, scared, but I'm having fun. And honestly, BJ made fun of me a lot too because I kept getting scared of the workers.
They were, granted, they were all black in robes. So, and then they're always in positions where, like, let's say Melly did get kind of spooked by a jump scare, you would easily turn and see that person again. Like you would see them, like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, the amount of times I got scared by a worker, I'd be like, damn it.
It's like they were perfectly in a spot where Melly would turn and that'd be the first person they see, like she would see. So I just thought it was funny.
If I worked at Universal, that's the job I would want. I would want to be in one of those rooms where people get scared and just be the worker that watches and tells you where to go. And also be the one that scares people just standing there.
Yeah, those workers who scared Melly, I'll be Venmoing you to your personal accounts. Good job. Thank you for the content.
Thank you so much for your question. And shout out to you for being the first one to ask one.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Also, she went to Not Scary Farm with her school, like right after, like literally like 2 days after we went to Universal. And she even said that the haunted houses do not compare. And let me tell you about Universal. Universal is top tier with haunted houses because they're movie sets.
The movie company, right? Like I don't know. Yeah.
Universal Studios?
Yeah, movie company. They're going to put a lot of effort into how their sets and everything look.
I can't believe you asked that question. I can't believe you asked that question.
I'm from Guam. Coming from Slack. Everything's the same to me.
Anyways, the whole theme of the park is the stages of movies.
I was wondering that.
Shut up. Anyways, yeah, the production of each haunted house is just so good.
There was great attention to detail, great actors that they did a great job, and just it was cool seeing all the little nicks and necks that you don't really notice if you're scared.
If you're a fan of certain things, like for example, Stranger Things, you would really appreciate like how everything looks. Like it's like legit, like you're in the movie, in the TV show. Very
Like the sounds,
very
the voice
realistic.
actor, like they had the voice acting to the people who played certain people were like, oh, that's legit.
Yeah, but we also got to do a lot of things this year too. We did the opening and closing ceremonies. We did all the shows. Last year they had like Jabberwockies and it wasn't even Halloween themed at all. We didn't watch that show, but I was like, that's random. And there was a Purge water show and that was really good. And as for the foods, we also wanted, to get the Halloween Horror Nights foods. Like sometimes when we bought soda, I would hear people get like a hot dog and I'm like, what are you doing? Get the food that's like themed for tonight. You could always get a hot dog.
Sometimes people just want a glizzy, they just want to glizz on a glizzy, so let them glizz on a glizzy, okay?
We went to the Chucky restaurant and BJ got a brisket sandwich and then I got a chicken sandwich.
Even though we went to Roscoe's earlier.
This is what happened. I saw the two options and then I went up to the girl and I was like, what do you like better, the brisket or the chicken sandwich? And she goes, the chicken sandwich. So what was I going to do? Was I going to say, okay, two briskets?
Yeah. But what Melly didn't notice that I noticed because I have eagle eyes is there was a paper saying like, we gotta sell more chicken because it's and the lady's like, pause, the chicken's really good. And I was like, Melly's like, okay, I'll get the chicken. And then I could tell in her head, she's like, so good.
Yeah, the chicken was super rubbery and it was popcorn chicken. Like, why'd you put popcorn chicken in a sandwich? It just fell out.
Yeah, the brisket was pretty good. It was nice and meaty.
What I also loved about it was we were sitting in an area where it was right next to a scare zone. So I was eating and watching people get chased with a chainsaw.
Yeah,
like it was
nothing fun like enjoying rubbery chicken while seeing people get half the life scared out of them,
Yeah, that was fun. I love the scare zones when people get chased.
When you said like, how you said you would be a worker, I would be a worker in there because I would just fuck around the whole time and scare people, especially because where we were sitting or just in general, that scare area had a lot of fog. Bro, there were some times where I'm like, damn, I in my head I was like, please, like someone be there and like have one of the scare workers like come on, and then you got some good footage too, so yeah, that's fun.
Let's talk about the houses now. Last year, the ranking for houses was pretty spot on. I think I would have switched a few. So I did know like what the ranking was from 1 through 8 of the haunted houses.
Yeah, she color coordinated them. Green, red, and yellow. They're so cute.
So green means it's like really good. Yellow means it was like okay. And red means it was like bad. And what I mean by that is like scare level. So yeah, I wanted to start off strong, but I also didn't want to end on a bad note. So we had like a balance of like going to good houses, going to not so good houses, and then going back to good houses. So that's what our strategy was. So, yeah, the ranking I got was kind of off because there were houses that I thought were pretty good and it was like really low on their ranking. And again, there wasn't much to go off of because, Halloween Horror Nights just opened like last week. And there isn't that much out with like videos and tips and tricks and stuff. I didn't get that many results of what people think of the ranks, but I was like surprised. But it's also like opinions too, because other people might like certain things. And for me, I give people bonus points if they can actually scare me.
I think for me, yeah, I give them bonus points if they can scare Melissa too. For me, I think my rankings for the houses, me personally, because me and Melly on the drive back, we were talking about what we liked and how we ranked it. So I go by the experience of the house, so whatever the theme was, like how well did it coordinate with the theme, like how well did the actors were, how good did they look, like what their costumes look like, how the rooms looked like, but also flowed too. Because for example, like Stranger Things, it's season 4, I believe, is what they were trying to go after. So it was like the flow of season 4.
Yeah, and it was really hard for us to rank it because they were all good in their own way. And I did record the walkthrough through like 3 of them, the 3 ones that were hyped up. I still have a hard time ranking the houses because I'm like, everything was like pretty good. There's only one haunted house that I thought was pretty bad. The Terror Tram I thought was bad, and one of the shows was a waste of time. But other than that,
It was barely a show.
it was just watching a trailer. But other than that, I think the houses were
the majority of it was really good.
the houses are pretty good, and I don't know, it's just hard to tell what was scary. So I'm trying to think of like what was the scariest
Are
house.
you gonna name the houses?
We could.
So my favorite one was Stranger Things because I love Stranger Things.
That was your favorite house?
Yeah. Overall, like when it came to the detail.
Yeah, no, the detail was really
and
nice.
then like my 1B would be was it Holiday in Hell?
Mhm.
That one was cool.
Yeah, Stranger Things I really liked. I have that one recorded, and you could hear me say, "Oh my god, this is sick."
Yeah.
Because I was like, "This looks crazy." And Holidays in Hell I really liked also, like because it was like the theme of every
The holidays in hell.
every holiday. Yeah, every holiday. Like the outside was like New Year's Eve, it was counting you down, and then you go inside and you just go through each room, and it's like different holiday, different like scares. And there was like one of the rooms in there that actually scared me and I didn't want to go in. Like I opened the curtain and I was like,
My
oh,
weakness.
it wasn't a strobe light room either. So that this was actually a scary part. I I just remember opening the curtain, I saw what was in there, and I was like, oh F me. And then I was like, oh God. And then I opened it and I walked in, and yeah, I was like, ugh. And I really like that house too because I got all the scare attention.
She did. I felt like it was the one where it wasn't like rushed, and I don't know. I feel like it wasn't too many people in there for some reason, but then we got like all the time because I was able to look at all the. That was probably the other than Stranger Things where I tried to really look at everything. That was the house where I got to see pretty much every detail of the room. So whoever's listening to this, if you guys go, pay attention to the Thanksgiving one because that one was so funny.
Yeah, and the group behind us were a bunch of boys. So I think they just wanted to target me. And that's fine. That's great. I was like, I love getting all the scare attention. This is my number one secret tip. It's a very secret tip because if everyone did it, then, it would just make the lines even longer. But this is a podcast exclusive.
Drum roll, please. Boom. What is your secret, babe?
Last year, I was reading a lot of reviews and they kept saying how they were pushing everyone in and making them go in a continuous line, which they still do. And that helps with like crowd control and like making lines go. So basically everyone's just like a walking line. And for me, you don't know when the scares are going to happen doing that. So last year what we did was slow down. So you see that the group in front of you is, going ahead, and you slow down and you make sure that they go through the room in front of you first. And then you stop at the curtain, you wait, and then you go because you want to get that scare. I mean, if you don't like to get scared, do what you want, but I like to have all that stuff for me. So I like to wait, and then I like to go in the room by ourselves. Last year, it was funny because the scariest house that my sister and I went in, we did that tactic, but then the people behind us were also gone. So we were by ourselves and we were freaking out. Usually when we're leading the crowd, it's me in the front and then there's like people in the back because, they're like pushing to go to. But I always slow down. I'm trying to savor the moments and I'm trying to, see what pops out. But also what happened last year that I thought was funny was we waited. We were like, okay, 1, 2, 3. We opened the curtain and freaking we got sprayed. I hate it when they have spray in the haunted houses. I got sprayed like 3 times. And then
yeah, last year she got soaked.
no, I didn't.
Not at
Oh.
like foreshadowing.
Okay, if you know, you know, but for now you don't know, and then we'll talk about that later. But oh yeah, and then the smells in the houses were very strong. Like sometimes I had to cover my nose because I was like, this shit is stinky.
Yeah, there was one where it was like a barn. I was like, the Philippines. It was like the Philippines.
Yeah, the smells are really strong in the houses sometimes because they want you to like feel like you're.
Oh my god, I just had an idea.
What?
Dude, someone please, whoever's listening, just if you know someone, make a haunted like house that's Filipino. Like, dude, like aswang.
We should do it.
Your tita, like that you hate. That's like with the fucking unibrow, throwing her chanelas at you, and then there's gotta be a room where there's like the scariest part of like when you go to Filipino, the chismes. They're all like, oh look, Oh, look, I heard she didn't get good grades. She's not gonna be a doctor like my. Oh my God! Someone please
God.
listen to this and do that. That'd be awesome.
Again, Express Pass, you basically just walk in. If you don't buy ahead, usually Express Pass is sold out. And at the park, you can buy Express Pass after 11. So Express Pass lines kind of get a little longer. Like you have to wait like 10, 15 minutes for houses at that point. Also, rides are also included in Express Pass. EJ gets motion sickness with like movie motion rides. So we didn't really ride anything except the Mummy, which was like a roller coaster. But definitely can do that too if you have Express. If this helped you decide to go, or if you want to go next year with us, join us.
Yeah, come along, tag along.
Super fun. Again, I have a Halloween Horror Nights hangover. I am exhausted. That was a lot of walking. It's a long night, and luckily we had that hotel to knock out at.
And luckily
afterwards.
it wasn't really cold too.
I don't know how people were wearing sweaters and pants, honestly, because we were wearing shorts and
Vampires get cold easy.
Love Halloween Horror Nights. Super excited for spooky season this year. Hopefully there's new haunted houses in Vegas because we have exhausted them over and over. So we drove back in the morning once we got some sleep, and yeah, we're back and
Recorded this pod.
we have another trip this weekend. Excited for that and can't wait to talk about that next week.
Gonna be really fun. Gonna make some more memories and hopefully some fun content.
And then you can find more on our social media platforms at Relationship Goals Podcast.
Well, y'all, you ain't gotta go home. You just get the hell out of here.
What if they are home?
Well, I'm glad you're home.
I'm glad you're safe at home.
Yeah, don't look behind you.
Thank you guys so much for listening and creeping it real with us.